Heading into the boating season, we need to make sure that we're approaching safety with the right mindset. And with that, we're going to be covering some safety beacons that you should consider as taking part of your ditch bag whenever you go out on the water. This is the Southern Boating Yachting Podcast.
I'm James Anderson.
And I'm Ian Sneed. So, what are we talking about? EPIRBs and personal locator beacons. And it's going to be a quick episode because we want to get you the right information as fast as possible. But with that, James, do you want to kick us off? Because I know you love technology. I know this is right up your alley because we're going to be talking about global satellite systems. We're going to be talking about return services that help you identify.
Yeah, there's a lot that gets offered within these two things. EPIRBs are emergency positioning indicator radio beacons, and the other one is personal locator beacons, PLBs. I prefer to have both.
I want to talk about how that benefits the search teams that go into it too. Because
factor.
If they have the EPIRB and they know that this is where it was activated, and then they have personal locator beacons and they can see the distance and the drift between the two. When they find someone, if you're like, we were in a group and a few people got separated, it's going to be much easier for them to create a search zone. I like the idea of having both. It's something that some people feel like, oh, it's redundant. It does the same thing. Not exactly.
No, not exactly at all.
And they work together. So it's a really good strategy to have both.
And there's a lot of different people that make these now. And this is where I believe doing your homework pays off immensely because not all EPIRBs are created equal. Some are just going to send that emergency signal. Some are going to give you some feedback.
So with that, I know ACR, it's called the RLS, so the Return Link Service. The PLBs, they work with the global satellite system. So the message will go up, and once it gets sent out and received, you get a return information packet to the device, and then there's a blue light that will show up. This is for the ACR device that has this. A blue light will show up so you know, okay, someone received my distress signal, so help should be on the way soon. And that's really important to know, but the PLBs function somewhat differently than the EPIRBs because the EPIRBs link up with the AIS system. And the
EPIRBs can link up with AIS.
Can, correct. Thank you. That's an important distinction.
So that's that's some of the differential between different models that you need to look at. So if you already have AIS on your vessel and you have a vessel identification, I would highly recommend getting an EPIRB that has that feature to it because then they're going to know exactly what vessel went down, where, and be able to, and it's also going to be received by other people in the area that have AIS as well. Because it might be hours and hours and hours before Coast Guard can get to you or somebody like Marine Rescue, whatever it may be in your local area. But another vessel may be much, much closer and be capable of responding much quicker.
It could turn down the response time from hours to minutes, depending on how much traffic there is in the area that you happen to be in if something were to go wrong. That's one of the benefits of the EPIRB is how it links up to the AIS system, or there's the capability of it linking up
to the
AIS system. And then the personal locator beacon is GPS with the whole global satellite system. So you get the benefits of both. More immediacy in response and also more specific location information in the search pattern that they'll have to run.
That's exactly right. Now, with the personal locators as well, you can now make a personal locator that's unique to your information. So it can carry your personal information on it. And I find that this could be very useful because what would happen if you were non-responsive and somebody saves you? Because it can carry emergency information with it, like you're allergic to a medication or something along those lines. Right? When you get personal information, that just helps people during a recovery process because if you are injured or unresponsive, it's going to help those people know a little bit more about you.
One thing I really like about these safety items is that they're not subscription based. You buy the item and then when you need it, you use it. And that's it. You already bought the item. You bought its functionality. That's exactly right. These, it's peace of mind. You pay for it. It's in your hand and it's yours and it'll work.
These do require a little bit of maintenance to keep up with, right? Because it is running on a battery. At some point in time, you need to do a little maintenance on your EPIRBs.
Right.
And that's what ACR will be happy to take your EPIRB back in, refresh it, or sell you a new one. And there's nothing wrong with having to buy a new one every 3 or 4 years.
And ACR also provides ditch bags with ready-to-go items like these already in them.
Correct.
So if you're not sure, okay, well, what safety items should I get? You can go to these websites and find things that are preset, already made for you to just purchase and have peace of mind. Like, okay, I know what, I would still go through all the things, make sure you know how to use them, how they function.
I would take that a step further. Anybody, when you have guests that come on to your vessel, I would educate them on both of these devices if you have them on board. Point them out. This is where the EPIRB is. This is how you activate it. This is what it can do for you. And then also letting them know, these are our personal locator beacons. If we do have to ditch the boat, this is what you're going to grab and you're going to tie it to yourself because this may save your life. Show them how to activate one. Don't activate it, but show them how to activate it. Because again, you never know during an incident what may happen. And if you don't teach them and they are the only one that's responsive at that point in time, I hope they know how to use it.
And if you're a guest on someone else's vessel, you know where your stuff is on yours, but you should ask where theirs is if they're not already telling you. Now, on here, it gives the price range for personal locator beacons. They range from $380 to $620, depending on, you know, whether they have the model, whether they're how buoyant they are, if they have the return link service, and if they have AIS integration in the EPIRBs. You have a range of $680 to a little over $1,000. And then they have different categories within the EPIRBs as well. So it does take a little bit of research to figure out which of these devices is best for you and your type of boating. But you have a huge range. And given the life-saving features that these items have, it's a very inexpensive investment.
Yeah, and it's a one-time purchase.
Exactly.
That if you're going to be boating anywhere, it doesn't even have to be far offshore. Have an EPIRB. Have personal locating beacons. These can save your life in an emergency. We've even done a story a couple of years ago about the guys out in the Gulf.
Yeah, they were in a fishing competition. And
they had an ACR, personal locator beacon.
And they weren't even sure if it was activated properly. So they kept actually turning it on and turning it off. And it led to a little bit of confusion, but because they ended up keeping it on, they were found.
And they were rescued and they're at home safe with their families now.
Exactly.
Which is a great indicator of why you need these things and how much safety they can actually afford you. You know, so if you're curious about EPIRBs, join us, read about them in our April issue. It's on page 92. It's our safety column for the month. I highly suggest you reading about them, doing your research, and putting a little money aside to go get one. That's it for this episode. Until next time, I'm James Anderson.
I'm Ian Sneed.
We'll see you next week.